Hi everybody, it's DM Captain Obvious, and I've just accepted a 30-0 challenge by Blue Yoshi. So we'll go ahead and play the Scandinavian. That's a response that I like to play against lower rated players with the black pieces, against e4. I don't really care for this e5 move against the Scandinavian. I think black tends to get a very good French. Ideally, with this kind of pawn chain, you want the bishop outside, but if you start with e4, e6, obviously the bishop can't get there. So now in this variation, I end up with a preferable French position. Hopefully I can make use of this bishop. Of course, there are always moves like, not right now, but once I put a piece on e7, he can try to go after this bishop if I don't play h6. That's something I do want to be aware of. But for now, I think that I have a very pleasant position. And, knight bd2. So I don't think that that's a move I'm so familiar with, so I guess I'll stop here to kind of consider some things. Not a bad move by any means. Normally I see things like bishop b5, going after the knight on c6, pinning it. Bishop e3 in some lines. Try to force the issue on the tension between d4 and c5. But where does he want to get that knight to is the question. I obviously haven't played bishop g4, so it's not like that knight on f3 needs support, and I don't necessarily think the knight coming to b3 really bothers me. It would be a bit strange if he was preparing c2, c4 as well, although I suppose he could play something like d takes c5 and then c4 after bishop takes, but that seems wrong to me. Probably I'm looking at bringing my rook over to c8, developing. I can actually play knight h6 to get my king's knight active now that I'm not in danger of bishop takes h6. Not really convinced that that's a great move, but because of this knight bd2 move, I do have it available. So it's something I should keep in mind. I also could bring my knight to e7. I could play h6 to prepare dropping my bishop back and then playing my king's knight into e7 and then possibly f5. I have options here, and that is always good. I think I could also develop my queen to like b6 or a5, but I don't necessarily think that that's really relevant. I also could take on d4 and see how he wants to recapture. So say he captures with the knight, I just trade everything, and his pawn on d4 is permanently weak. And it can become a target. Then I actually have knight e7, knight c6. So what I'm thinking is takes, knight e7 with knight c6, and we start piling up on this guy. I think that that's probably the most sensible way forward. Let's say that he doesn't capture with the knight. Then I can just simply play queen b6, pawn takes, queen b6. Something like knight b6, I suppose, would be the follow there. Even there, I think that that just loses to knight b4 with a fork on c2. So maybe he would have to play queen a4 to pin my knight. Let's go ahead and see what he calculates on this one. If knight takes, we're just going to trade and go attack the weakness in his camp. These advanced pawns become very easy targets in these structures. So he does take with the pawn, wanting to keep pieces on the board, but now we're going to knight b6 or knight b3 is wrong here. I know that. Okay, now he just loses. This is going to cost him at least an exchange. I think he moved way too fast there, considering the danger of the position. Yeah, in a 30-minute game, you can't spend under 3 seconds on this sequence. There's just too many dangers here coming due to this opening. And again, we see this French structure is so solid, and because this bishop is an all-star outside of the pawn chain, I think we're actually very close to just I mean, I don't think Blue Yoshi should resign. I think that it's just an exchange. He'll likely pick the knight back up, bishop e2, for instance, and then just castle after. Well, he won't be able to castle, actually. Well, that's a bummer for him. But still, bishop e2 is the most sensible move. He eats the fork, plays king f1, and then, maybe he tries to castle manually, bring his king to g2 to activate his king's rook. It's losing for white. It's already losing. But, I think that he can definitely make me prove my technique here up in exchange. Not a lot to say here. There's no bishop d3. It just drops the piece. There's no way to bring another piece here to defend c2. It's just going to be an exchange. That's all there is to it. I think bishop e2 is the move here. Just open up that square. You definitely don't want to, play a random move and end up having your king here on d2. That's ludicrous for white. So I think just bishop e2, king f1 after the fork lands. And we'll see what Blue Yoshi can do down the exchange. The Scandinavian is a surprisingly toothy opening in a lot of variations against lower rated players. I'm not entirely convinced it's even in the top 4 or 5 choices for responding to 1e4. I think just much more principled e5 or c5 or c6, even e6 directly playing the French. I think they're all probably slightly better than playing d5 at a high level, but you're going to get positions that are easy to understand with 1d5. So if you trust that you're a stronger chess player, it's very easy to outplay your opponent. You get a lot of endings. There's certain setups that you have to be aware of as a player and I do believe that takes is just simply white keeps the advantage into the middle game with takes, and then, you put your knights classically developed, you bring your bishop to c4. There's even ideas with sacrifices on f6, or even mating ideas if black isn't careful and the knight sits on e5 in conjunction with the bishop on c4. So that's how I would handle the Scandinavian with white, the white pieces. But here is just, wow. That's not a move I had considered. Well, I don't land with check, but that rook is still cooked. But now I guess he plays bishop e3, takes. Wow. This can't be good for him. How he's getting checkmated, yeah? I think it's just gonna be mate, king here, queen here, and then queen here. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Oops! I just dropped my queen! Oh man, that's really embarrassing. It's just a bishop mate right here. Wow. Well, that's really embarrassing. Okay, well. Well, that's really sad. Oh my gosh. Bishop b4. Oh, what am I doing? It's just checkmate. Well, that's pretty embarrassing. Let's see what we can do with queen odds. That's that's got to be one of the worst blunders I've made in a long time. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, that's why you play on. Play to mate. Okay, that's really sad. Well, we're going to keep playing and hopefully make something happen. This is obviously just dead lost. I'm down a queen. I had mate in one and I didn't play it. Queen d3. Oh, yeah. Mate in one. Just mate in one. Okay. Well, that is pretty sad. But we will stagger onward and who knows, maybe Blue Yoshi will feel generous and drop some material, make this interesting. But right now we're holding out on the same kind of prayer he was, missing mate in one. Well, what can we do to even... Yeah, I mean, I can throw in the towel here shortly. This is just going to be curtains here. Yeah. And he should just start trading pieces. He's up a queen. He should just snag and go, go, go. Get rid of the tricky knights. Basically, my only hope here is landing a fork with the queen, but, you know, that's never happening. We'll play on a little more. What? Doesn't that just give me a free knight? Am I missing something? Oh, I'm pinned. Pfft. This has been a disastrous sort of day, yeah. Okay. What? I'm really confused right now. Why didn't he just take my knight? Was that a mouse slip? Is he just being nice? No, I didn't offer you a take back when I dropped my queen instead of checkmate. Come on, man. Don't do that. I had mate in one and I dropped my queen. I'm not offering takebacks. Not taking takebacks. Don't be silly. Come on. I'm in it. I've got 2 tricky knights. Don't do this. People, if you're watching, don't do this. Okay. We're going to stagger onwards. And let's see here. Unfortunately, he didn't walk into a fork, letting me have life again. So we're still down. We've got a piece for the queen. I will need even more help from my opponent, which is possible, I suppose, but unlikely. Maybe in Dreamland I can pick up these pawns and try to make something happen promotion-wise. Yeah, that's probably not happening. Okay, well, let's not let this happen. Throw a punch, protect this square, protect this square. This is a fine post. This d-pawn is now able to move if I want to. I'm not ever worried about him trying to hang on to this pawn. Yeah. Yeah, so let's try to mobilize this guy, make him give up material for this pawn, and try to keep these 2 pieces as active as I can down the road. Just make him really nervous. That's the best I can hope for here. Yeah. Because obviously this is dead loss still. He's going to let me take that pawn with tempo. I mean, I will. What is his thought process with that? I think just queen here. D6, D4. Okay. Well, he gives me a pawn. He's being generous. He's given me a pawn and a piece for free, which I definitely need. And I honestly think he's just nervous. Do I want to bring my knight here? No, because I don't actually want to trade pieces. I don't want to actually trade these knights for anything other than the queen, including rooks. These guys are probably the only way I survive this. But he should just start activating his... He can't take this, yeah? If he takes it, I just play rook b e8. Oh, no way. He's giving me more material. Oh, he's a generous guy. He's a generous guy. That's not going to help. I just have f6, just f6, and I suppose he tries to hit this pawn with check, maybe. Now it's actually kind of interesting, yeah? Now my rook is also... Now this rook is also in line with his king. Suddenly I can't be... I'm sure I'm still losing, but I can't be, like, in dire straits. After I drop the queen, it's probably, like, freaking plus 15 or something ridiculous. White is just crushing, of course, up a queen. And even after he gives me the piece, it's, 2 clean pieces. Even if everything else is even, you're looking at... at least 6 points of material. So this is now really, really dangerous for him. There's several ways he can go very wrong here. So he takes the pawn with check, yeah? I mean, that's pretty much, yeah, okay. And now this is already a threat, so he doesn't have time to do something silly. Like, this is already in danger of... This is already in danger of swinging back in my favor. Queen d3. I'm going to have nightmares about that. That is an atrocious move. Truly an atrocious move, queen d3. Just bishop check. Wait. Okay, well, we're still somehow in this. He does see the fork. So what we're going to do is keep... Wait a minute. Doesn't this just... Is he even... I mean, this is now a threat. The queen. Is he even better here? Gosh, yeah. So, blunder my queen instead of checkmate in 1. And... we're still in this one. We're still in this one. Somehow. Oh my goodness. He is keeping the queen really close to Forktown. This is super dangerous for him. These knights are just really scary. Just really scary. Obviously, rook f4 is coming. Where do you even put the queen here? Where do you even put the queen here? Oh my God. I can't believe that, though. Do I even want to take that pawn? I mean, I could. But then his king goes to g1. Honestly, his king on g1 is better for him than his king on f1. Because it frees the f1 square and my knights aren't as scary. I mean, the pawn is pinned. I don't have to take it. I really do just need to keep pressuring his queen until he makes a mistake. So I'm either taking the pawn or I'm playing rook d8. If I play rook d8, what does he even do? Does he move the queen again? No, he can't move the queen. So what if he plays like a3, knight d5? That's good. Well, I mean, relatively good considering what we were looking at earlier. Rook d8. Let's say he swings his rook to d1, activating his queen's rook. I still play knight d5. Doesn't look as good for me. I definitely cannot afford back rank issues. So rook d1 would be kind of scary if I play rook d8. And additionally, even if I were to not get mated, I don't want to trade my rooks for his queen. Play 2 knights versus 2 rooks. That would not be ideal. So what to do? What to do? I could just obviously... I don't want to take the pawn, though. So what if he does something other than rook d1 here? Like, what if he just willingly plays king g1? Like, rook d8, king g1. Oh, he just loses his queen. He just walks into a check. That's no good. What am I talking about? There is no king g1. What if I take with my pawn? No, stupid. Not a good move. We want to leave this open. Yeah, rook d8 or... Which gives him more opportunities to go wrong? Rook d8 or... Well, honestly, what if he just plays king e1 instead of king g1 if rook takes f4 check? And he's looking to bring his rook to f1. Well, then I guess rook d8 is really good there. And I don't know how you stop it. So I think he does have to play king g1 there. But if he does play king e1, then I think I just win with rook d8. And then I land a check on c2. Or, yeah, I land a check on c2 or f3 and I get the queen, at least. Of course, if he plays rook c1 there, so takes here, here, here to cover this square. Check. And he has to be careful, otherwise rook f8 is doing the dirty on him. So like if he comes back this way, then I swing this rook back here with check, and then he's in a world of hurt. Of course, they're still forking ideas, and his queen is still in danger if the knight moves. Of course, you know, so it feels like it's a 50-50 proposition, just playing rook takes. And if he just plays king g1, rook d8, I guess, there, and we move on. If I play rook d8 now, he has... I really don't like him having rook d1 to rook d8 right now. I just don't like that. Maybe rook d8 is actually like more accurate, but I think that on the weird chance that he comes here, this is the smarter practical play. He doesn't. Okay. Well, all that time, and, well, we're just going to have to plow on ahead. We are in this game. We are in this game. This guy's dead. This guy's silly. These guys are all doing something. So this is not an easy position. The queen is actually in danger of rook f3 and then just check. Or check and then takes queen. So we have a tactic on board right now that he does need to address. Say he plays something like queen e3. Queen e3, I guess... I have to be aware of my weakness on the back rank, always, if this guy moves off it. It seems kind of stupid to go after this pawn, but I really just might not have anything better to do. These guys are all ideal. So we're just going to go for it. Again, this queen can't actually stray. Amusingly enough, I'm going to defend this and this, but he actually wouldn't be able to take this anyways. I guess maybe I could have tried to let him. I have this cheeky suffocate mate. No, I don't. He would be right here. He'd still guard that square. He can't stray too far from e2. Okay. Now, what? He's getting that rook off. Well, I don't see a way around it. So I guess we just let him. Okay, well, maybe it's time to start shifting gears. It's going to take him some time to activate this guy. Maybe I can cause trouble with this pawn. This is, it's just a must play, unfortunately for me. I don't have a lot of options here. Somehow I'm only down a piece worth of material, but this is still a very, very uphill battle. That's a good move. That's a much better move than taking. Yeah, that's a good move. That's unfortunate. Well, I'm going to hit his queen, and I'm going to try to make magic happen with some kind of janky mating net. Yeah, this is just ridiculous. What if he just... Well, no. He actually... Where are some safe squares? He needs some safe squares. It's actually not so easy. Here. Can't get checked. Can't get checked. Bop and bop. Yeah. So I guess he has to come here. I don't know what the point of these... This is actually still losing to check and then takes. Well, maybe it's not. Wait, here, check, takes, and then he takes this, and I'm still down material. So funny enough, I think this is actually maybe even playable, but I mean, it's not the best square. And if he comes here, this queen guards f3, so I don't have that tactic. So I do think he needs to play the queen to d3. Otherwise, knight f3, and you know, I've got an interesting pawn at the very least, so, you know, I don't think I'm horrifyingly worse. Maybe even I have some kind of slight edge. I'm not really sure if he were to go for that line. And of course I don't, and this of course just same situation. So queen d3 is the move he should be able to find. And what do I do? What do I do? Wow. Wow. Did he just gift me his queen? How is this happening? I am much better now. Oh my goodness. What is this? I'm just winning. What is this? Oh my goodness, I don't deserve this at all. Oh no, I feel so bad for him. I'm sorry, Blue Yoshi. I'm sorry, but I'm not that sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not that sorry. I missed mate in one, instead choosing to drop my queen. This was an interesting idea. Oh my gosh. This, what a disaster. Oh no. Oh no. Why did I hover over this? What am I doing? I had seen this and then checkmate, but king d3. Yeah, okay. Game over. 12 moves. Except we had to win the game another 3 times, really, because I was done a queen. And he let me back into it. He he let me back into it with queen odds. Probably not a whole lot to say after this point. If you're out there and you have a chance to play checkmate in one or drop your queen, I would advise you to play checkmate in one and not drop your queen, which is some obviously great advice. You're welcome for that. Let's see how bad it was after just giving my queen up for nothing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There's going to be a large hill here. But he kept um, making some dubious moves. Yeah. And he let me back into the game. He just let me back into the game. I think. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, queen d3 is an only move. Well, no, queen d2 is a move. I thought maybe. Yeah, okay, it'll get worse as it thinks, probably. Um, queen d3, just. Wow. 91. I was thinking. I saw e4, but to try to, again, force in some idea with knight checks, do some miracle mating net, but. Oh, so e4 is also. Okay. e4, and then. Nice. Nice. Okay. Knight e1, though. What a move. What do you even do here? Queen e3. And it's a draw by repetition. What an engine line. But he gives me his queen. He just gives me his queen. Just stunning. Yeah, that's just no good. Okay. That is a very sharp cliff. Oh my goodness. Pay attention. That's the takeaway. And don't just think that you have checkmate. Speaking of taking, because I think I criticized my opponent for not taking his time in this position. Yeah, this is just winning. And then I go ahead and drop my queen because I'm moving quickly and not paying attention. Look at that. Queen d3 check, 1.4 seconds. What a stellar move. What a stellar move. Momentary insanity. Yeah. Well, we somehow were able to fight our way back. Certainly did not play well. Mistakes, inaccuracies, blunders, dropping the queen instead of mating. But a win's a win. I'll take it. And hopefully we learned a little something about fighting back from a lost position, because white did it too. I didn't play mate in one. That's the end of that. So I think he fell in love with his queen way too much after getting kind of comfortable here. This is not necessary. Honestly, just everything else wins. Just activate your rook if you feel you can play this position as slow as you want. You're up a queen. Yeah, I can castle. You don't care. a3. You don't have to give your bishop up if you don't want. You can play this eventually. If you are going to play this after castles, you take this knight. My only way into this game is these guys. That's the only way I get back in. So, eliminating those two knights, even if you give your, like, you could give both your rooks for these knights and play bishop queen against the two rooks, and it's so easy. Like, just get rid of these guys. You don't even have to find the most engine precise moves in these positions. Just eliminate any play I have. But a sequence of errors, and suddenly everything in my camp. Is this actually better than rook d8? No. Well, wait, what? I don't like that. Knight bc2. Okay, so they're all roughly equal. They're all still white's winning, but look at that. Down below +2. Okay, I think that there's not a humongous amount that needs to be said after missing mate in one and then fighting back. Again, it comes down to those tricky knights. Jeez. Just nightmares. Nightmare fuel. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that game. I certainly would feel differently about it had I not managed to come back and win. But good game to Blue Yoshi. Hope you took something from this, and good luck in your chess. Take care. Bye.